All eyes are on some superstar IPOs.
So many people focused on so few of these IPOs because of AI.
Well, we have to buy this because it's Elon Musk's company.
Whatever Elon Musk touches turns to gold.
AI companies are really valued at sky-high level.
Sometimes these companies can hold their valuations because are we in a AI bubble today?
Yeah, that's a lot of
the
talk.
question. Bubbles tend to go on and last a lot longer.
Who got the power?
All eyes are on some superstar IPOs this year, namely SpaceX, OpenAI, Anthropic. I know you've engaged with a lot of market participants, potentially institutional investors. How's their view on those super large IPOs?
We're seeing some of the largest IPO valuations in the history of the stock market. These companies are seen by investors as being able to generate significant revenue and or significant profits, perhaps to the levels that companies have never been able to achieve because of technology, because of AI, because of a lot of the advancements that we're seeing. On the other hand, I think investors may be worried that there are so many people focused on so few of these IPOs that get so much attention that these valuations get driven up to levels that are worrisome for some investors. So I think there needs to be a balance.
Already talk about, well, we have to buy this because it's Elon Musk's company.
It seems like whatever Elon Musk touches turns to gold. His net worth has skyrocketed to levels that I don't think we've ever seen before. The companies he's founded are doing some really amazing and interesting things. He really has that personality that a lot of people gravitate towards.
AI companies are really valued at sky-high level nowadays. Take SpaceX, for example, almost $2 trillion US. When you look at those crazy numbers and when retail investors look at those crazy numbers, do you think that investors will buy it?
If you look fundamentally at how companies get valued, and they're typically valued price to sales, price to earnings, book value, EV over EBITDA. By looking at the fundamental valuation metrics, investors would say many, if not most, of these companies are way overvalued. But at the same time, we are experiencing a period, technological transformation and advancements have made it possible for these companies to really have huge market share and huge numbers of clients that penetrate beyond the domestic borders. On the other hand, sometimes these companies can hold their valuations because there are just so many investors that put money into so few stocks. Global pension funds and global investors putting money into all these stocks, basic supply and demand, that these companies tend to hold their share prices. It's a hard question to answer because on the one hand, fundamental investors would say they're overvalued by traditional valuation metrics, but then when everyone's pouring money into it, people will pay a higher price just to get additional loaves. I guess time will tell. We'll see how the stocks perform post-valuation in the days, weeks, months, and years post-valuation.
Investors should be really prepared for the situation that the first day of two of this IPOs, probably you will see the stock price skyrocketing. But a lot of IPOs, their performances over the years is not as good as you expected.
It's true. There could be a lot of volatility, often on the upside. If they get a piece of the IPO and the stock pops and goes up 10, 20, 50% to satisfy the demand from investors that couldn't participate in the IPO. An IPO investor could think about just a short-term trade and selling as the stock moves up. And then a fundamental investor would maybe sit back and let the stock find its home. It can be difficult psychologically to sit on the sidelines, let the stock trade for a few days, maybe a few weeks. It should settle into a range, maybe a 5% range up or down. If the investor feels that the company has strong fundamentals to grow into that valuation by generating future revenue, future market share, then maybe that's a good entry point. I've been on Wall Street for a long time now. I've also seen cycles and bubbles. Are we in a AI bubble today?
Yeah, that's a lot of
the
talk.
question.
Yeah.
Time will tell. I think that's why it's important to look back at history. We've had bubbles before. We had the internet bubble. We had the real estate bubble. Do we now have an AI bubble? And everyone says this bubble is different. This is different this time. While we may be in a bubble, be very careful going against the trend too early because a lot of these bubbles will continue growing and growing and you'll end up losing a lot of money if you're on the wrong side of that trade. The bubble could keep growing for a lot longer than people think.